Hey guys, Remington from the Revury here, and today's authenticity video is how to authenticate Tory Burch Sandals. And I'm going to ask you guys to bear with me because I have such a bad cold right now, but I really want to get this up for you. So starting with this pair of Tory Burch Sandals, which seems identical, but one is real and one is fake. And you'll know starting with the hardware. So if you take a look, the exterior hardware is gold toned. And that should be mirrored on the interior hardware, which you can see here. So gold there, gold there. Whereas on the fake one, you'll notice that there's gold toned hardware, but on the inside, they switched and they used silver tone. The silver stud, it's probably a little cheaper, it's a contrast color, it's an inconsistency that that kind of detail wouldn't be overlooked with Tory Burch. So if you see that, be very wary. Another way you can tell is the product information. There should be a certain amount of information included in the interior of the shoe or sometimes on the bottom sole. It'll be the where the product is made. It's going to be some kind of product identifying number, like a serial number, a SKU, a batch number, something along those lines, and the size. So take a look at the real one. You'll notice it says where it's made. It's going to have this long digit code, which is some kind of product identifying number, and you're going to have the size. This is 7.5. And on the other side, you'll see the serial number printed right there. Now, on the fake one, you'll notice it's completely blank. There's no information provided anywhere. That's a telltale sign. Run for the hills if you see it and get your money back. That's a big issue. Another way you can tell is just through the quality of the shoe itself. So if you were to hold it up side by side, you'll notice that this shoe stands upright on its own, whereas the vamp on this shoe, this outer sole right here, is concave. It's flimsy, it's falling in on itself. That's a sign of poor quality and definitely a sign of a fake. And you'll also notice that on this fake one, there's an exposed seam. So take a look, you'll notice you can see the small seam stitching. It's kind of fraying as well. Whereas on the authentic Tory Burch, you won't even see a seam at all. That kind of detailing, if you take a look, is never overlooked. It's a high quality brand. So if you see that, be very, very wary. And another thing to look for is just in the stitching itself. I know this comes up a lot in my videos, but it is true. So here, I'm going to put them up side by side. Tell me if you notice a difference between these stitchings. This is the authentic and this is the fake. Notice the thickness of the thread, the quality of the thread. It's almost like braided, whereas this one is very, very flimsy and thin. And the size of the holes of the stitching, and even just the size of the stitching itself. This one measures, the real one measures approximately 1/2 centimeter, whereas this is about 1/4 centimeter. So inconsistencies across the board, one being of much lower quality. And then lastly, keep an eye out for any kind of inconsistencies. So here on the bottom of the sole on this fake shoe, you'll see that there is the Tory Burch logo printed, and then all of a sudden there's this random gap right here. That's just an odd inconsistency. It's not definitive in itself, but it's something that should prompt you to raise more questions. And to give you just a contrast, here's the sole of the authentic one. It has the linear Tory Burch logo print. And I've noticed she's been using this more so on her products nowadays. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure the hardware is consistent. Look for any defects in quality and any inconsistencies. And if you have questions, let me know. I love doing these. And if you want to shop Authentic Tory Burch, check it out at the Revury. And have a good one.